If you've just bought yourself a Makita saw or have been transporting yours from site to site as your regular machine, you may have found that the fence is not square to the deck or to the blade, especially when it's straight out of the box, like mine was. And if it wasn't immediately clear how to adjust it, well, I'm going to show you how to do it. To do this, you essentially need 3 tools. You need a decent square, a PH2 bit screwdriver, and a number 6 Allen key. So to begin with, what you need to do is just remove a few things out of the way. So just take off all the extra bits and pieces that you don't actually need, because they do hinder the process of getting this lined up. And once those few bits are out of the way, we can start looking at it. If you look closely down here, one on both sides, there's a little tab which points down to the degree angle. So the first thing you want to do is just make sure that your pointer is up against the 0 point. It is plastic, so there will be a little bit of flexibility in it, so it might take 2 or 3 goes just to get that lined up. I know it did me the first time I did it, but it is quite a very simple job. And then when you've done that, it's just double check how straight the blade is. Now, essentially what you want to do is just make sure that the kerf board is nice and straight. It can't really not be straight when it's hard up against the edge. And now, making sure that your battery isn't connected, bring the saw down and just lock it in that position. Now we can take your square, you can drop it down the kerf, and you can see straight away down here that it's running out against the back of the board. And I bet it's the same on the other side. On the degree angle, which runs all the way around the saw itself, make sure it's locked into the 0 position. There are 4 screws, 2 on either side. There's nothing underneath in the middle. So all you have to do is just loosen these off. Very quickly and easy job. You don't have to take them all out, you just need to wind them back a couple of turns. Then what you'll notice is, I'll just release that, the whole platform will move with the saw. So just make sure it's locked into the 0 position, and then we can line up the square against the back plate so it's nice and straight, and then just make sure that it is bang on with the blade. Now this might take a little bit of nudging, a little bit of doing. An easy way to do it is just release the lever and it will just help you move it a little bit easier. So there's a bit of fine tuning work to be done to this, depending how accurate you really want your cuts to be. Once you've got it in position, make sure it's locked off, and then you just do the screws back up. It really is that simple. You don't have to over tighten these to do them back up. And what you must always do as well is make sure that's the same on the other side. So other things to be aware of is sometimes that this back plate here, even though you've got it bang on one side, it might be off on the other side, and that's where the Allen key comes in handy, because right around the back here there are 2 bolts on either side, and it's just a case of you can just undo them very slightly and you can shift the whole thing around a little bit to make it fit. The other thing to be aware of as well is that after you've done this, you've got your outriggers, which obviously move in and out, but they also need to make sure, you also need to make sure that they're lined up. as you'll see when I put that square up against it, it's a good few millimeters out, and again it's not running true. It really is as simple as just undo the bolts, he says. Absolutely bar tight. That's where one of these comes in handy. Just undo them a little bit. And then you can get it exactly where it needs to be. And just tighten them back up again. It really is as simple and as quick as that. And once you've adjusted it, always double check. So find yourself a piece of scrap wood and just give it a go. So we'll just put that on there. I'll just get it in there out of the way. And then of course make sure that it's nice and square to make sure you're happy with it. And if it's not, you just have to go back and readjust it again very slightly. Well, there you have it. A simple solution to a simple problem. And yes, it would be great if it was perfect straight out of the box, but then my wife would like me to be a little bit taller and, well, I'd like a bit more hair. Thank you again for watching. And if you have any questions or tips and tricks of your own, leave them in the comments below. And please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Take care. I'll see you very soon. I've just got to remember what to do now. Okay. It's all well and good, but when you're in the workshop and you're plotting around and you're doing it yourself, you can kind of follow a track and get it all done. But when you're in front of the camera, it's completely different, isn't it?